Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2025 RSL Revival Season 1 Asia Server Qualifier. We are here with our very first qualifying match. Again, a bit of a shorter, bit of a briefer qualifier here, but regardless, we have some quality players here. We have our best of 5 ZvP ready for you. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing his new team, representing El Kadzia Esports. It is Creator. Al Kadzia, not El Kadzia. God, I still want to say El Quesadilla. But if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will qualify for the main event. As a reminder, single elimination bracket here. One of these two will make it into the main event. The other will have to try again during another qualifier, as there is still one more qualifier remaining. Bear that in mind so they have another chance. But the last qualifier is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a European server qualifier, not a Korean server qualifier. So it is going to be difficult for the Koreans to actually take part, to actually play through that ping and make it through. Not impossible, but it is going to be a taller ask here for them. So ideally they want to make it through this qualifier instead. But now Hatchcast full standard open out of SHIN. Likewise, Creator going for the gate, expand into Cybercore. Standard openers all around, and welcome to Incorporeal. Again, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Large map, long rush distance by ground, plenty of bases, and we do expect a longer game state. I say we expect a longer game state. SHIN is known for his aggression. He's known for his mid-game. And that's where he thrives. That's where he thrives the most. That's where he can be. That's where he can shine. That's where he can take it to the best of them. Even players like Hero, even players like Max can struggle against the aggression of SHIN. But what I will say is that Creator is typically very defensive in this matchup. He's typically, I would say, the most defensive Protoss in Korea. I mean, compared to Hero and Classic and Xeon, I mean, they're a lot more aggressive, a lot more active. Creator, he often does go for more defensive plays. Not saying that he will every game, not at all, but he's more willing to go for, I don't know, say a Stargate opener into a Robo, for example, into a Mortal Archon, or into earlier Colossus, or just a more defensive style, very similar to Showtime, in a sense, similar. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, Creator, he's willing to be aggressive at times. For now, Stargate opener back at home with the Stargate going to be opening up Oracle, you would imagine. Could open up Void Ray instead to hunt down Overlords. Creator does have options. We'll see if it's going to be Void Ray or the Oracle. Oracle would be more standard, more economic. Void Ray would be to high tech and to try to give or kind of shroud himself in some ambiguity here and try to keep SHIN in the dark. If he were to open up Void Ray, for now, Adept moves out. Meanwhile, SHIN, he is droning, he is saturating. Third base is on the way. Queen will zone. And Creator is looking for a way in. Doesn't quite commit. Overlord's getting in position. We have an Overlord here on the right hand side towards the main, another Overlord here outside of the natural, and it is going to be the Oracle first. Oracle is on the way. SHIN back at home, still droning, still saturating. Creator looking for a way in. Doesn't quite find it. This Creator, he does wall up. He walls up back at home. Oracle does look to move out. Oh, now hunting down the Overlord. As the Overlord will get eyes on the Oracle, does also get eyes on the expansion. SHIN, he is aware of the standard opener, aware of the standard timings. And back at home, it's going to be on SHIN to defend his mineral lines. So far, no spores yet. He's purely relying on queens, as he does get eyes on the initial Oracle. Overlord is hunted down. Spores are now going to be on the way. These are later spores, but he also feels safe enough to get away with this, as the Oracles are now moving out. Behind this, we're expecting a Forge, we're expecting a Twilight Council, Winter Blossom, and Blink. We're expecting a standard follower. Oh, Lair first out of SHIN. Okay, we have our first big divergence here. We were typically expecting either a Roach Warren or an Evo Chamber, but Lair first is a lot more tech heavy. Much more tech heavy. Now, this could be to rush into Hydras, or we could be seeing still a safety Roach Warren into a faster Spire, into Mutaplay. Eva Chamber gets thrown down behind the mineral line. Interesting. And with the hidden Eva Chamber, I'm leaning towards +1 melee into a rush into Hydras, into Ling Hydra. As we still do not see a Roach Warren. Meanwhile, Shin does get further in. We'll Stargate Opener into the Robo. We actually called this at the start of the game, if you remember. We spoke about how Creator, he's more willing to go Stargate Opener into Robo into Immortal Archon. That's the direction he's heading in. Adepts a shade across the map. Two of them do get called out. Meanwhile, Shin going for a Bailey Nest, massing up Lings. Gonna try to chase this down. Adepts are moving out, but Shin gets plenty of Lings to work with. And with the fast layer, we know what it's for. As we mentioned, it's gonna be for Ling Hydra. As the Hydra Den is thrown down, we have the Hydra Den behind the third base. Oracle's behind the main. They get a drone, going to be zoned away. Meanwhile, Shin with all those Lings, he does make use of them. He does counterattack. Gets it around, takes down 2 Adepts. 2 Adepts go down. Nice pickup. Creator racing back home. No shield battery, no defensive setup. He's vulnerable. He's vulnerable back at home. You can see him panicking, throwing down shield batteries. Getting ready with his Oracles. And back at home, Shin is just droning. He's droning up on 3 bases, now getting a 4th expansion behind this. Meanwhile, we spoke about Creator going for his own Archon follow-up. There it is, Temple Archives on the way into Immortal Chargelet Archon. Now, this does hit a little bit later here for Creator. It's going to be a later timing. Prism moves out. This should be lined up with the Archons, with the High Templar. Oracles, they get shut down. Lings, they're looking for a way in. They're threatening a run-by. Meanwhile, here come the High Templar. Oh, actually going for Zealots first. Okay, never mind. Those are going to be slow lots. Storm is being researched. Oh my! Oh, the prism goes down. Massive pickup. Ay, ay, ay. Massive interception. Prism goes down. And Shin, he does defend. He defends back at home. He's getting into his Hydras. Hydras are amassing. 4th base getting up and running. Shin is droning. And Shin is here to catch up the army. It just caught out in the open. Brutal pickups here. Oracle will support though. And despite that, Sentry still go down. Zealots as well. Better trade for Shin. Hive is on the way into Lurker Tech. There we go, Lurker Den as well. So Shin just happily droning and taking up into Hydra Lurker Viper. He's getting into his final form. Meanwhile, Creator is kind of in a way stumbling his way there. He is taking up, don't get me wrong, but he just hasn't been able to get any damage done across the map. He hasn't been able to hinder or punish or disrupt the economy of Shin. That's the downside of going into charge instead of blink. As you can imagine, as I'm sure you've already seen, if you go for a blink follow-up instead, then your stalkers are active. Then you're active, you're chipping away at overlords, lings, creep, and forcing out units and trading with the army. Here, going into Archons, Immortals, and Charge lots, you can see it's a lot slower here. As a Creator, he's stuck at home, stuck defending. Creator is trying to turtle up. But again, to take some losses in doing so with the Prism, with the Sentries. And Shin is up to 83 drones. And now getting a 5th base. Shin, he's looking to max out. He's got the ideal economy, and now he's maxing out on Ling, Hydra, Lurker. No Vipers yet. The Hive is done, and Hive upgrades are on the way. The biggest thing we're missing are Vipers, but right now, if there are no Colossus and Disruptors, I mean, do we really need Vipers? They will still be nice against the Immortals. But for the most part, Shin is about to max out. Likewise, baiting out those stasis traps ahead of time. Shin, he is aware of the expansion. And he may just sneak up straight into the natural. Lings are moving in. Does he bait at the stasis? So far, he does miss the stasis traps, just barely. Oh, baits out 1. There's 1 left. 1 stasis trap remaining. Meanwhile, Fleet is on the way. Creator trying to get into Sky Toss. Sky Toss on the way. Oh! As the Lurkers, they do burrow, getting within range. Storm's not quite popping up. And not yet. Storms, they try to slow this down. They graze the Lurkers. Lurkers are moving in. As Shin, he does wedge himself in between the bases again. Creator out of position. This entire army's just zoned away. He just zoned away from his own natural. Lurkers are going for the kill. They collapse of the Immortals. Immortals are going down. There's 3 Immortals left. And again, they're barely standing. Lings, they flood on in. They go for the Immortals. Massive pickoffs. They catch the Archon, and Creator, he just can't help. He's trying to, but he's just stuck in his third. He can't move in. Not into the Lunkers. Again, Creator has just been out positioned. He's forced to push into the Lockyard. He's forced to push in. Lurkers, they shut down the army. The High Templar going down, the Archons as well. And SHIN, he has done it. He has broken Creator. GG gets called, and SHIN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. SHIN does take a lead in the series. Again, Creator, he had an interesting style here. It was just really unfortunate. He went for a standard opener, but unfortunately he was active with the Adepts. He got caught out. Likewise, he went for a Robo follow-up into Archon drop, but he didn't drop Archons. He instead warped in Zealots and went for a slow Zealot drop instead. He got intercepted, he got shut down, and for the most part, as we mentioned, the biggest issue here this game was that there was nothing pressuring SHIN. SHIN, he was so free and so safe to just drone up back at home. To drone up, to saturate, to build up, and alas, Creator, he wasn't really able to apply much, if any, pressure at all, so SHIN was free to max out. Not just that, it wasn't just that he was left to his own devices, but SHIN was also being greedy with his tech. Remember, he skipped Roaches. He went for a 430 lair timing to rush into Hydras, rush into Hydra upgrades, and he got away with it. He got away with all that greed, he got away with teching. Typically, it's a build like that you want to try to punish as a Protoss with more aggression, but Creator wasn't aggressive, he was passive, he was more defensive, which allowed SHIN to get out of hand, to get out of control. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself from South Korea, representing his new team, representing Al-Qadsia Esports. It is Creator. Al-Qadsia. I'll get it. But now then, we're going to be settling into game 2. And welcome, yo, you thought Incorporeal was a large map. No. You ain't seen nothing yet. Welcome to Maganatha, the largest map in the map pool. You don't get larger than Maganatha. Plenty of bases, long rush distance by ground. And we expect SHIN to play something similarly coming into game number 2 as well on this map. Now, winding it back a little bit, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised by SHIN's playstyle last game. If you remember, I was talking about how typically Creator is more safe and more defensive, and typically SHIN is more aggressive, but we saw that last game SHIN was quite greedy. Remember, as we mentioned, he rushed into a fast lair, he skipped Roaches, he droned up so quickly to 83, and he was able to embrace Hive Tech a lot faster as a result. SHIN took advantage of the passivity of Creator. And as a result, we'll see how Creator adjusts. I wouldn't be surprised if SHIN goes for the same style this game. I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, Creator might be more willing to be aggressive this time to try to punish that greed and to punish SHIN for skipping tech and droning up too hard. So we'll see how our players do adjust throughout the course of the series. But coming into it, the size of the map itself is going to assist whoever is going to be greedier here, as the map is larger. Ground army against lurkers. A ground army can actually work quite well against lurkers, but it came down to the positional play. As we mentioned in the last game, SHIN, he was able to wedge himself in between the 3rd and the 4th, in between the armies, and kind of outposition Creator, right? Creator, he was outpositioned in that last game. If Creator was able to, for example, in this kind of game state, if the lurkers are coming in from the right-hand side, and if their goal is to wedge themselves again in between the bases, it's on Creator to be on the ramp, to spot the army, to spot the movement, and to be here to stop that from happening, and to make a stand here at the ramp instead. Unfortunately, if you remember, Creator, because he was expanding towards the left-hand side, his army, was in between his 3rd and his 4th base. So Creator, he was here. SHIN just snuck up on the natural. He was able to sneak up, was able to outposition Creator. Otherwise, Creator could have made a stand and could have bought enough time to get into his Sky Toss, into his Tempest. That's, of course, another factor that came into last game. And as you see, that's also possible here on this map as well, right? Welcome to Magnatha. It is a large map, that is true, but as you can see, there are attack paths in every base and in between every base as well. So it's so crucial to keep eyes on the army movements of your opponent, to be able to keep up with those rotations, right? To be able to keep up with the rotations and keep up with the movements of the lurkers if we're in that kind of game state. Whether it's a lurker or a Lingbane Roach Ravager, is important that creator's able to keep up, or whoever is the defending player specifically. Whoever's defending, it's important for them to keep eyes on their opponent's movement. But now, once again, we do have this time an earlier Eva Chamber compared to last game. So early Eva Chamber, this should be +1 melee. We typically don't rush into +1 range this early on. Meanwhile, Twilight Council follow-up after the Stargate. This looks like Glaive Adepts. No Forge. Now, if we see no Forge here, this should be Glaives. If we see a delayed Forge, this might just be early Blink. So creator, he has options with whether he wants to go into Blink or Glaives. How aggressive does he want to be? More gateways. This does feel like Glaive Adepts. And we have Carapace on the way. Okay, a lot's going on. So as we mentioned, this build did scream Glaive Adepts. Now the reason why we did say Glaives at the start is 1, the Twilight Council's very early, 2, no Forge. If there's no Forge, it's going to be Glaives. So we have a Glaive Adept follow-up here by Creator. This is more aggressive, and fun fact, if Creator had done this last game, he would find so much success. If you remember, last game, SHIN skipped Roaches. This time, Roach Warren. This time there is a Roach Warren. This time SHIN is playing safe, and he comes up with the Overlord Scout. He sees the Twilight Council, he sees the lack of Forge. Now, technically, there could be a hidden Forge at the natural, right? There could be a hidden Forge instead, but for the most part, SHIN, he's aware to be safe. He knows he has to be safe. Roach Warren's almost done, and he will be getting into Roach production. If this was last game, if he was going straight Ling Hydra, then he'd be in danger. But SHIN has the tools to defend. Lings, they collapse in. No shield battery. Ooh, no shield battery. 1 adept goes down. He gets 1, he gets 2, he's gonna get 3. Oracles are racing back home. Some brutal losses there for Creator. More Lings are amassing. The Carapace upgrade, sorry, I didn't even get to talk about that. The Carapace upgrade is throwing me off. Because typically Carapace is less effective than range and melee upgrades. It does impact, it does assist both units, both range and melee units, but it's not as impactful just because of the high DPS output of Protoss units. So that's an odd one, I'll be honest. But here we go, the Mass Adept has arrived, and do you see any Roaches? No, we have the Roach Warren, but no Roach production here. SHIN being greedy, where are the Roaches? Stasis about to go off. SHIN does pull away, baits out the stasis trap, but there are so many Adepts, and again, where are the Roaches, Pappy? Where are the Roaches? We have 9 Roaches in production, but SHIN was being greedy. SHIN, he cut corners, he droned up too much, and Adepts, they wreak havoc, they shut down the Lings, and they're going for the Mineral Lines, and SHIN, he's caught with his pants down. Again, SHIN, he had the tools to defend, but he did not make Roaches. He didn't realize he needed them, he didn't realize how much danger he was in, and now we're popping off. 5 drones gonna be going down, Roaches are falling one after the other. Adepts, they shade back and forth. SHIN not quite able to keep up. These Roaches, they need to build up, and they're not able to. They're not able to. Creator, he has done it. Breaks through the Roaches, gets into the Mineral Lines. 11, 12 drone kills already. And this is becoming critical damage. 15 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. 15, 18 drones going down. 18 workers, not like this. And this is game-ending damage. From this point forward, SHIN is going to be forced all in. He's going to be forced all in. He has Roach speed on the way, which will help. Adepts, they once again shade in between the bases. They don't quite commit. Creator, he's racing back home. What do we have at home to defend? We have more Adepts, stasis traps, and more importantly, Immortal production. Immortals are on the way. He's already got 1, soon to be 2. As the Immortal count builds up, the Roach Ravager becomes less and less effective. So it's building up his Immortals. SHIN is re-droning. But SHIN trying to macro out of this, trying to re-drone after losing so many workers. That's a bold move. I mean, it's a hard decision. Basically, from this position, SHIN has 2 options: either commit to an all-in, or try to be as greedy as possible to recover. And he's choosing to drone up and be greedy, and it should not work. Like at this level of play, basically SHIN, he's hoping that Creator makes mistakes. Like, for example, if Creator commits and if he fights these Roaches head on, if Creator throws away these Adepts, then sure. But like, that's what Shin is hoping for. He's hoping for Creator to make some missteps, make some mistakes, and leave his army unattended, commit into a bad fight, maybe get stuck tech-wise. I will say that this Temple Archives is late. True. This is a late Temple Archives, so Creator, his splash damage is going to be delayed. But at the same time, I think that this is late just because he probably thought an all-in was coming, right? He probably thought like, oh, he's probably going to commit, so let me focus on my defense instead. So Shin is joining up. He's still down in workers. Creator claiming his 4th base. Getting a second robo, double immortal production. Aye. And again, the one thing that Creator is missing with his army is Storm. Like, we're just missing Storm. Temple Archives is done. We need that Storm. We need that splash damage. I mean, either Storm or Colossus. One or the other. Archons are morphing in. No Storm. Interesting. Bold move. I mean, Shin is building up Blink Hydra. We need splash damage against this. I mean, this army can still work. Archons, they still have their place in this game, and Creator still has a terrifying army. But he did not research Storm. We're pushing out here and now. Creator, he's committing. Now again, he can still take a better fight. Roaches, they try to come in from behind. Bit of an awkward angle here from Creator. Doesn't get surrounded. He commits here with more charge lots. Trying to catch out the Roaches. Roaches falling back. Prism is exposed. Prism goes down. Yeah, massive pickoff. No Prism. Roaches, they still buy more time. The best fight that Shin can hope for is trying to catch out that Immortal. Oh, the surround. Can he get it? He's going to bleed out a lot of Lings here, but one Immortal goes down. He gets one. He's going to get two. Yeah, Biles, they connect. They take down another Immortal. Again, this is the best. Like, Shin is popping up. Like, Shin, he's just catching Creator with his pants down as he takes out more Immortals. GG gets called. Creator, he commits into a rough fight, and Shin, he bounces back. He takes the fight, takes a 2-0 lead. Made. GG, well played. We spoke about Shin hoping that Creator makes mistakes. Remember, there was nothing forcing Creator to push in, nothing forcing him to attack. He chose not to research Storm. He chose to commit, to push in with his Archons, with his Immortals, to go for that fight. Shin had a better attack there, coming in from multiple angles. He was able to snipe the Prism, deny reinforcements, and he just pulled Creator apart. GG, impressive comeback there from Shin. Again, Creator, he was in a very, very nice position after crippling the economy. He just had to calm down and tech up and get into Storm and work towards a longer game. Instead, he pushed out and GG. GG. So Creator misjudging the situation there. I think that's the best way of putting it. Just misjudging the situation, misjudging the game state. Creator, he was ahead, that's true, but he opted not to get further ahead. Instead, he tried to end the game. He was trying to end the game then and there. And alas, Shin, he was able to get away with his Ling Hydra composition, able to capitalize on the fact that, and again, this was completely like out of the hands of Shin, but there was no splash damage, right? There was no splash damage, so Ling Hydra traded very nicely there, very efficiently, surrounding the army. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. And again, I feel like we should have had a back and forth here. Like, again, that last game was insane for Creator, but it did slip through his fingers. And here we go. We're getting into game 3. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I want some more out of these players. I'm greedy like that, but the pressure is on. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming, clawing his way back into that last game. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Green Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Alakadzia Esports. It is Creator. Down to 0, 1 game away from claiming the series, and I hope he's okay. Again, last game, everything was looking good. Everything was going right for Creator. Everything was as it should be. But again, as you mentioned, like, he did make the decision not to get into splash damage, not to tech up. He chose to commit into. He basically forced himself all in by committing to that fight. And yeah, once again, just misjudging the situation there. And the game did slip through his fingers. And hopefully he's able to recover. As again, I want more between these two players, but welcome 1-0 to Pylon. Pylon, of course, is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. I say smaller map, it is very wide. There are a lot of bases. There are a lot of bases, a lot of expansions, but the rush distance by ground is quite short and very direct, and because of that, we see a lot of all-ins. We've seen a lot of all-ins on Pylon. We've seen a lot of Queen all-ins, German taxis, Ling Queen walks across the map, Hydra base all-ins on 3 bases. Like, there's been a lot of aggression on Pylon, and I expect aggression out of SHIN. We'll see. Here we go. I see someone asking in the chat, will you also show Geralt versus Zaun? Both qualifiers are going to be casted. Both qualifiers are going to be casted. Double music. I don't necessarily think that's on my end. I don't believe. Just double check some things, make sure there's no like other tab open or something like that. Yeah. All good. Yeah. It's all good. Otherwise, we are going to be slipping in. We have once again a Stargate open out of Creator. And we'll see if Creator once again goes into, I mean, I don't see him going into Glaives twice. I know that it was very successful last game. I mean, again, like he had a really strong start in game 2. But I would imagine we're going to be seeing maybe a standard opener, which we haven't seen yet at the Creator. We have not seen Stargate into +1 Blink Stalker. Like, that hasn't happened yet here in this series. Meanwhile, Creator moving out. Does catch the initial tumor. Hooks in, pulls away. Does pull away. And so far, nothing too major here. Standard openers, oracles are amassing, they're poking in, queens are trying to keep up, tumor goes down. But SHIN, he doesn't lose many workers at all. Not yet. Does preserve his mineral line. And we're waiting to see any early tech. So far, just droning. Just droning, just saturating. Overlord goes in for the scouts. Overlord is looking for an early Twilight Council. We know that there is none, and soon SHIN will confirm as well. No early Twilight Council. No early aggression. There we go. The initial Twilight Council gets thrown down. This is as the base is over halfway done. This looks like Twilight Council into Forge. As extra gateways are on the way. This feels like a Blink-based opener, but we'll keep an eye on Creator. If it was Glaives, I feel like the Twilight Council would have been a little bit earlier, but we'll see. Oracles poke in. They get a queen. Not bad. One queen goes down. No Forge, by the way. Creator, what's going on? Are we going back into Glaives? No. Okay, Blink. Whew, okay. We're sane. We're going into Blink. Now, the lack of Forge tells us that this might be the beginning of a 3-base all-in. As Lings, they do catch out the Adepts. But if you remember, at the start of the game, we spoke about how all-ins are favored. Remember, all-ins are favored on Pylon, and we're going to have really early Blink Stalkers. We could see a Gateway Explosion. We could see, yep, there we go, Gateways are on the way. If we don't take any gases at the 3rd base, we can set up a proxy across the map and go for a 3-base, 8-gate all-in from the side of the Protoss. Oh, that is not the case, though. We're taking up late Forge, but an earlier Templar Archives. Okay, Creator, we got some builds. Meanwhile, SHIN getting a 4th. SHIN's getting a 4th base, droning up. We have +1 range on the way, no +1 melee. Stasis Trap going to be going off, catching 1 worker. Hydrogen is spotted, and we are going from Hydrogen alongside a Spire. SHIN. He does hide his tech. Oh, jeez, the Stage Traps. They're not. Oh my god! Stage Trap goes off once again. Catching out 2 drones so far. As the Oracles are forced back. And And SHIN, he's droning, he's saturating, taking all 6 gases. It looks like Ling Hydra, and we are investing to Hydra upgrades, but the Spire so far unscouted. Spire is unscouted. SHIN delays the expansion. Behind this, Storm is on the way. I mean, hey, there was no Storm last game, so this time Creator, he rushes into Storm to make sure he has it. Blink is not yet done. Nice surround here by SHIN. Brutal surround. Stalkers are going to be going down. Blink is still 3 seconds away. Oh my god, and so many losses. So many Stalkers trading minerals for gas. Better trade for SHIN. Takes down the Stalkers, takes down the Adepts. And behind the Spire is almost done. The Spire is almost complete. We've been preserving that gas. There we go. 10 mutas on the way. And there's nothing in the main, and there's nothing in the natural. The third base is a little bit more fortified, but the natural and the main are exposed. And Creator, he still has no idea. Still has no idea. Oh. Lings are forced back. Creator, he's been stuck at home. Here we go. Now we get the hallucination scout, but this is late. This is a late hallucination scout. As he moves out, the mutas are already moving in. The mutas are ready to pounce. They're backing up on the right-hand side. Hallucination fails the scout. And the mutas, they have arrived. They're going for the main base. At the same time, Creator, he breaks out with his main army. And Creator, he might just commit. He might just commit to the fight here. Leading out 7 probes already. Losing up to 10. And he's not stopping. He's just going to trade out his mutas, getting 14 probe kills. At the same time, Creator, he commits. He has 4 High Templar. 4 High Templar, 4 Storms. Stasis Trap gets baited. There's 1 Stasis left. Mutas, they turn around. They come back with the main army. We come in for the surround. Decent Storms. Yeah, decent Storms on the Lings. Hydras, they collapse in. Oh, and there are just so many mutas. Sorry, I'm gonna say muta, not Hydra. We do magic box on top of the army, cleaning everything up. The Archon's the High Templar. And SHIN, he's looking to qualify. He's looking to qualify here and now. We could have seen a longer series. Again, the game 1 Magnatha was so close for Creator. He was in such a good position. But here, he was not able to confirm, not able to scout. Archon volley going up. But the muta cloud, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. Does target down muta after, Stalker after Stalker. How many? 17, 16 mutas left. Oh, fighting head-on like this is not ideal though. Again, mutas are not built to fight head-on. They're built to harass. As another 2 mutas go down. These are expensive losses. Okay. Creator, he holds. Creator, he's holding on. Behind this, Hydra range should complete. We're still committing into mass muta. Still no Hydra production. The economy is okay for SHIN. He does have the high yield gas geyser. That does help. Creator, he's holding on. Muta's back into the main. Creator, he's waiting for them. Ooh. As we do see SHIN fight head on. Takes down 3 Stalkers. Takes down 4 Stalkers even. 5. A nice target firing there out of SHIN. Gets into the mineral line, rotates back around into the main. Oh, the cannon does finish. And SHIN is still not stopping. Now, this, like, SHIN, he can die doing this, by the way. Like, this is a really risky playstyle, just because these mutas are so fragile. They're so fragile. One bad fight away from losing everything when it comes to Storms, when it comes to Archons. Like, SHIN still has map control, still has the advantage, but it is still quite a risky play style. Nice intercept. Creator catching out a couple of mutas. A couple of mutas go down. Ling counterattack controls left hand side. Ooh, Storm on the mutas. Another muta falls. Meanwhile, there's nothing here to defend the third. As they rotate back around. Oh. Archon's keeping up. Lings, they get spotted in time. Creator, he's in position. And Lings, they take down the shield battery at least. Mutas are coming in. Oh, not bad. Mutas, they do support. Ooh, Storm does connect. 1, 2 Storms. The Mutas, they get away. They catch out the Phoenix. Hitting one Phoenix. Cleaning out a couple of Mutas. Does get 16 probe kills in the mineral line. And not a bad trade here from SHIN. He mainly lost Lings there. That was 48 Lings and 8 Mutas. Rotates back around. Creator's keeping up. Oh, punishing SHIN. Getting 2 more Mutas. Oh, SHIN commits to the fight. Where are the Storms? SHIN is massing out more Lings. Oof. Storm does connect. He gets 1. Do we get 2? Oh my god. Storm doesn't quite connect though. The army's so low. 1 Storm away. Uno más, papi. Uno más. This army is so low. Again, SHIN is 1 bad Storm away from losing those Mutas. And behind there's no Ultras, right? Like there's no Ultras, there's no Hive Tech. It's just pure Ling Muta here out of SHIN. As Lings are getting ready towards the left-hand side. Mutas, they get turned away by Storm. Gets turned away. For those that are curious, typically we would be taking up into Hive and into Ultras with this, alongside melee upgrades, but no, for now, looks like we're getting ready for a Hydra switch instead. You would at least be switching to Ultras or switching into Lurkers, like for your ground support. But now we're just doubling down on mass speed. Oh, Jesus. Another Storm connects. Just the 1 for now, going for the base itself, and he will knock down the expansion. Nexus goes down. And so far, SHIN is trading well enough to like hinder the economy, right? Like Creator, he's having a hard time maxing out. He cannot max out. We have how many Mutas? 41, soon to be 48 Mutas. Get an okay Storm. Phoenixes, they do engage. Not bad. Yeah, nice movement here with the Phoenixes. A lot of Mutas do get picked up. Oh no! He does fight too close to the sun. Mutas, they get 1 of the Phoenixes. Oh! There you go, 1 so far. Nice kiting from Creator. Does kite back. Picks off a lot of Mutas. He's also getting caught out though. Phoenixes are falling. That is going to be 15 probes falling. And we have Hydra production. Collapse on the Archons. So far, nice movement here by SHIN. And Creator, where we headed? What's the plan? Still trying to keep up. Ooh, Prism goes down. Yeah, bit of miscontrol there by Creator. Bit of miscontrol. Likewise takes out another Phoenix. Just going for the drive-by, gets an Archon as well. The run by continue. We just keep just dipping in between the bases. Creator, he can't keep up. He can't keep up with this. Not like this. And the problem being Creator, he's on 37 probes. At this point, like over time, he's just taken too much damage. Too many losses. Creator down to 37 workers. Meanwhile, Lurker dead. There's that Lurker switch. Lurker Den is on the way. Back at home, we're building up Hydras, soon to be Lurkers. 31 Mutas here for SHIN, and he's done making Mutas. At this point, he's done. As the Hydro Gas guys is fully mined out. Jesus. SHIN, he's got bottom left. Now, the Lurkers aren't ready yet. So, technically, Creator, he's down 30 army supply, or around 40 army supply at this point. But depending on how many Storms he has, well, only 2. Only 2 High Templar. If he had a higher High Templar count, I can see him base trading, or I can see him just going across the map, going for an all-in, and breaking SHIN before Lurker tech. But I don't think he has the Storms for it. He doesn't have the Storms for it. And Lurker Den is done. Show us those Lunkers. Hive is on the way. Up. SHIN controlling the army. SHIN is maxed out. He can't afford any Lurkers. There we go. Going for a Ling run by first to make some room. to free up some supply. So SHIN has to bleed out some of these units, whether it's Muta or Ling, to make those lurkers. And there it is, 6 lurkers on the way. 6 so far. Things are keeping up. Mutas, they commit. They cash out a couple of Phoenixes. Phoenixes, they can pose a threat to the lurkers, but yeah, they're going down one after the other. Likewise gets into the middle line. And with that SHIN, he has done it. What has he done? He's bought enough time for lurker attack. I mean, you could argue that he's already crippled the economy here. Even without the lurkers, that's going to be another 11 probes going down. Down to 31 workers for Creator. And now we have 8 more lurkers on the way. And the reality is that there's no answer. There's no answer to the lurkers. There's no immortals. There's no immortals. There's no Sky Toss. A Stalker Arc on heavy composition is not going to be good enough. Mutas, oh god, there's some brutal storms. Mutas are finally going down. But at this point, they've served their purpose. They've served their purpose, and here we go. The lurkers have arrived. Seismic Spines is complete. Lurkers are here. Oof. Catching out the Observer. 0 detection. Ling Rumbai hits the 3rd, and now we're just all in. All or nothing here. The game is about to end. This is Creator's final army. Oh, he recalls back home. Does recall. Lings, they catch an Immortal. They take down the base. Mutas into the main. Catching up more Phoenixes. The main army of Creator still is quite robust for itself, but Creator has no pushing power, unfortunately. Again, he has no way to push into these lurkers. Not like this. Nice spread of Overseers. And so we go. Creator, he tries to push into the lurkers. Tries to push in. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take the series 3-0, qualifying for Season 1 of RSL. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to SHIN as he does qualify for the Revival StarCraft 2 League. He will qualify, he will make it through. Congratulations. My condolences to Creator. I can 100% see this going into a longer series. I'm still thinking about Maganatha, to be honest. Like, Maganatha was Creator's game to win, to take, but it slipped through his fingers. He did overextend, did overcommit. It was a rough game there for Creator after such a strong start, and SHIN with that takes the 3-0. And I feel like the score doesn't do the series justice. As I mentioned, like, Creator, he played well for himself, and we can 100% see a longer series there and a longer back and forth. But alas, GG. Alas, GG, well played. With that, SHIN does qualify, and now we're getting ready for our next matchup. Our next qualifying match is going to be a PvP. So we have a Protoss confirmed for the event. It'll either be Zaun or Geralt. Let's go. Here we go. As we're getting to our next PvP, getting to our next best of 5.